Alright everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And before we jump into this chart analysis, I do want to share with you guys today's home runs. We had a phenomenal start to the day, especially through the volatility of the market. Even when the market is red and portfolios are looking red, I consistently am looking for opportunities to make a 5 to 10% opportunity on a regular day, 10 to 20% on a great day, and 20% plus are home runs. We hit 3 home runs today and 1 great opportunity. So if this is something that interests you and you want to become part of the community of Invest for Tomorrow over at the Discord, you're more than welcome to. The link is down below in the description, and I'm going to share with you guys the stocks we watched today, and we look forward to having you join us. You can become part of it too. So here we are with the 4 ticker symbols I mentioned. This was our least performing BMRA, giving us 10 to 15% quick on the morning. It kind of consolidated and took off. NTEC, this one gave us 20% plus. PHUN, 20% plus. And CERC, 20% plus. You could see when I mentioned them, and if you look at the charts, you will see it for yourselves. So this is PHUN, and I talked about it at 133 as it was pulling back. I was looking for that weakness to find a bottom. No one knows the bottom, but you can always look for it. Then some strength. And then right at the bell, it hit a low of 132 and took off to a high of 156, guys. 20% plus within minutes. Now, the other one that performed pretty impressive right off the bat, and it was actually flying pretty fast, was CERC. And here we are with it pulling back. It was consolidating pretty nicely, pulled back to a low here of 276 and took off to a high of 327, guys. 20% plus opportunity as well. And these are opportunities that I get in, I get out, I look for my 5 to 10%, 10 to 20%, and if it goes beyond 20%, it's a home run, guys. And that's where we try to nail those as much as possible. If that's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us. Let's jump into this chart, and the link to the Discord is down below in the description. Stay tuned. So here we are with Nndm stock, Nano Dimension stock. Nndm stock has been pulling downwards, and now it's pulling back up. Now, one of the biggest reasons it was pulling back yesterday had to do with the offering that was actually on May 10th. That was yesterday, and it's a total amount of 3.7 million shares being offered at a price which seems to be a premium where it was at yesterday and even today at 671, guys. 671 per share. Now that is very interesting because of the fact that this is happening in the middle of a stock falling. Okay, one big difference is when the offerings were being done while the momentum was pushing upwards, and another big difference is doing offerings as the stock has been pulling downwards. If you guys don't remember, back around this time they did an offering, and now they're doing another one. And I think they did another one in between, and all the stock has been doing is pointing to the downside. Now, that dilution of shares is hurting the shareholders temporarily for those that are bulls, and for those that are bears, they don't find this to be a good thing. So it all has to do with perspective, but that is the biggest reason why we had a big pullback, and we hit a low here of 544, and that is something to watch closely as our new support and lowest point in this bearish run. Now, this offering bounce back, right, could be either a bull trap in the eyes of some investors, and others, this could be real momentum. So we need to see, because this was done at a premium, right? 671 per share. Okay, and we're below that. We've been below that since the offering happened. We've been below it today. We have to see if this momentum can push up closer to that number and break through it, or if it's going to get close to it and then collapse. Okay, it's going to be very, very important to watch. But keep in mind, Nano Dimension and Nndm stock is a long-term opportunity if you believe in what the company's doing. And you definitely want to do more research and understand what's going on with them, because they're becoming more and more risky every single time and more speculative every single time, guys. Especially with this amount of offerings. I mean, it just doesn't make sense how much cash on hand they already have from the previous offerings. They've made acquisitions. What more do they need, right? So keep that in mind. Hopefully it's not a dilution, but ARK Invest continues to buy and they've updated it. And ARQ, they sold a very little amount, and then ARKW, it stayed nearly the same, but they did go up, right? They did go up from yesterday to today and the 2 days till now. So that is something interesting, that ARK Invest still seems bullish, and collectively they're still holding a large portion of the total amount of shares of Nndm. They own a pretty big piece, and it's close to 17 million shares plus. So here we are with Nndm hitting a low, 544. You want to keep that number in mind moving forward. The 50-day moving average is 636. We're in tug-of-war zone, and we need to see if this momentum can continue and push upwards by the bulls. So what's the true point that the bulls need to break through after they break through the 50-day moving average? Well, that's 654. Turn it into a support, pull away from it to reach newer highs, pull further away from the 50-day moving average, and continue the momentum. Now, closed on in, this is the first support level, 622. We're currently at 628. If that gets broken through, the bears are pulling away from the 50-day moving average. But the next point of reference to watch is 593 to see if the bulls are losing traction or if the bears are tearing this one down fairly fast. So do keep that in mind and pay close attention to what's going on within those areas to see if the bears are dominating or if the bulls are trying to reappear. Let's go ahead and jump right into the chart of the ticker symbol you won't want to miss. You definitely want to add this one to your watch list moving forward. All I ask for is 3 to 5 more minutes of your time. Stay tuned. The ticker symbol I have for us today is one that I've talked about over at the Patreon for the last 2 weeks. And the opportunity is now more than ever because it got destroyed from yesterday to today because earnings was coming up, and now it's picking back up, guys. Now, it doesn't guarantee it'll continue to go higher, but this is a stock to go ahead and start watching if you don't have it already. And it's a growth stock, so it has a little bit of vulnerability to the pullbacks of the S&P and the overall market. But in the long term, it may be one of those that will reward investors that were patient, did their due diligence, and understand what they were doing. So if you want to gain full access to the stocks I mentioned over at the Patreon, the link is down below. It'll gain you access to the Discord and even my stock market and emotional intelligence series, where you get to know more about the stock market, especially if you're learning or beginning. And I talk about charts and the overall market to equip you to become a better investor, to take your portfolio to newer levels, guys. We maximize profits and minimize losses. That's what we focus on every single day. So the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list, if you don't have it already, is PSFE, guys. Pay safe. Okay. This is a SPAC merger, but the opportunities are there in this sector, guys. This is a pretty small company compared to its competitors. I'm not saying it could be a Square. I'm not saying it's going to be a PayPal. I'm not saying it's going to be any of those. But the potential in this sector for this space with PaySafe, it's going to get its piece of the pie, and I'm sure the opportunity is there. I mean, look at that. It hit its all-time low after the SPAC merger and pulled back here to a low here of 1076, okay? And I told everyone this weekend over at the Patreon to start watching it, and now we're up already almost $1 and some change. When I tell you guys over at the Patreon to watch something, it's because the opportunities are coming, and we're trying to catch them at the best opportunity possible, guys. I look at these stocks like a hawk, and I strike for the opportunity. Now, I personally swing traded this, and I will at some point start to build a position in it if I start seeing strength or consolidation and try it out again, right? That's what I like to do once I see and understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, this is a long-term opportunity. It is a SPAC merger, so you want to keep that in mind. SPACs could be a little bit speculative, but in this sector and what PaySafe does, I could see this actually becoming a bigger company and also reflecting in its share price, right? Because when companies grow, it's only 8.6 billion right now. If it grows just 2x, 3x of that, it will reflect in its share price, either 2x or 3x of that, or maybe, 1.5x, like instead of, just going up a whole entire 2x, 0.5, or something like that. So it's pretty interesting Basically, this can go anywhere from where it's at right now all the way up to $16, $17, $18, or it can go all the way up to the 20s or 30s, right? But we have to see how the company grows and how they do moving forward. But today's earnings was not quite the best, right? It wasn't anything special. Okay, so that's something I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of. And right now, they're not profitable, but over time, they have a chance to get their piece of the pie. So do your due diligence, do your research, check out more information on them. PaySafe is the one you want to have on your watch list moving forward for consolidation, weakness, or momentum to the upside. Stay tuned for more videos, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.